Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Prosperity Mindset. Happy Monday to you. Excited about another day, getting another great week started. I know we just came out of a great weekend. A lot of great things happening this week. Obviously, we got our broadcast, here in the United States at noon and 4 and 7 and 9 p.m. We're going to make sure we make that part of our culture. We're here every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. And this is the Prosperity Mindset call. This call is designed to get our day started, to get our heads and our hearts working synergistically together. This morning, I'm going to talk about temperature. Time to take your temperature. The first thing you do when you go to the doctor's office is they take your blood pressure and they take that temperature. That's the vital signs of what's happening in your life, in your personal physical health. And you know what? That's kind of your report card. That's your report card to find out what else is going on in your body. That temperature, that blood pressure is going to dictate what happens next when you're in that appointment with that doctor. That's going to give him the starting point of where she needs to get started to get your body operating at the optimum levels. That's the same way your business is. Your temperature and your pressure. Temperature and pressure. What's your temperature? Is it the right temperature? Is it low? Is it cold? Is it overheated? It got to be hot, ladies and gentlemen. It got to be hot. Your blood pressure has to be there. You got to put pressure. When I say pressure to success. Because, if you think about a piece of coal, I grew up in a coal mining town. If you take a dirty lump of coal, I remember my dad used to work in a coal mine, and he would come home, he'd be all dirty, and I said, Dad, how you get that dirty? He said, man, that's the coal mine. That's how it is. And when I got older, I started realizing that coal was the base of becoming a diamond. But what made that piece of coal that was all dirty and dusty, what made it turn into something was precious and something was worth a lot of money and a lot of value, and perceived value was the pressure that it stayed under and how long it stayed there to become a diamond. And that's the same way your business is. Is your pressure to become a diamond, is it there? Is it there? Or do you have to raise the temperature? That temperature got to be right. You can't be a person that's running on low octane and think you're going to get high octane results. It doesn't happen. You got to be hot. You got to be hot. I remember when I first got burned on the stove as a child, my mom said, don't touch that stove. It's hot. Don't touch that stove. And I don't know why my subconscious just couldn't help. I couldn't help it. I had to touch it. And when I touched it, I got burnt. And I knew the temperature was hot. But as soon as I took my finger off, boy, it hurt. And it continued to hurt for about a week. That's the same way your temperature got to be hot. People want to be attracted to hot people. Hot, 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 hot. And the only way that's going to happen is you got to turn the temperature up. You have the ability to turn your thermostat up. I don't care how cold it is, what environment that you're in. And believe me, I grew up in some very cold weather. I remember going to school at 10 below, 15 below, 8, 12, 14 inches of snow. We had to walk to school. So if you live within a 3-mile radius of the school, you had to get your own transportation. So we had to walk in snow. We had to walk in sleet. We had to walk. But your temperature, what's your temperature, your mindset, your attitude? What is it today when you get up? Is your temperature, is your thermostat right? Because think about this. If your thermostat's not right and you're building the culture of the environment of your team, what's their temperature going to be like? Because you become who you hang out with. And if you're hanging out, your team's hanging out with somebody, the thermostat's broke, it's on auto, or not set to the right temperature, how can they stay warm? How can their temperature be right? How can they be excited? How can their pulse be right? How can their blood pressure be right in the business if yours is not right? We set the tone of our business. The temperature, the thermostat, the mindset, the attitude comes from us. No one else. It starts and it ends with us. What's your thermostat reading?
So let me ask you a simple question.
I'm going to keep people like, I used to be way too cool crew. They're not excited. I'm not saying excitement about jumping for joy. I'm talking about red hot intensity. I'm talking about they're driving the business every single day. They're driving. They're fanatical about becoming successful. They're over the top about staying focused. They're relentless about running the play, running the system. They're relentless about that. Their thermostat and their temperature is right. Their temperature is right. But if your thermostat's set off, you ain't got no heat in there, your mindset's off, your attitude's off, you're going to do what? You're going to attract people to thermostats off. That's why you can't get high-octane results with low energy. It doesn't work that way. Whenever you ever turn the thermostat on the stove and the oven on, I remember my mom said, I got to get me a new stove. I got this temperature up and this thing still ain't cooking properly. That's the same way your business ain't cooking properly. The thermostat and the temperature got to be right. And it starts with leadership. Leadership sets the thermostat. Leadership controls the heat. Leadership controls the pulse. Leadership controls the blood pressure or pressure to be successful and commit to excellence in your organization. You set the tone. The thermostat is you. The temperature is you. The pressure to become a diamond is you. What is it? What's it look like? What's your blood pressure? What's your thermostat? What's your heat? What's your energy levels? What is it? I don't know. I remember my grandma used to say, you got to make sure you take that iron pills, keep your iron going. That way you have energy. That's true. Same way your business is. Same way your business is. It's amazing how there's a correlation with life and business. There's so many things that we can pull from life experiences and what we go through life, and it can transition into understanding what our business should look like. Ladies and gentlemen, your temperature got to be right. Your thermostat got to be right. Your blood pressure or the pressure to be successful has to be right. And it starts with you. It starts with you. It don't start with somebody else doing it for you. I get a kick out. I love conversations like this. Well, if I can get this person here to do this, I can get the diamond. You missed it. You missed it. It's not about some other person doing something to get you where you're going. It's about you becoming something to help develop others to get you where you need to go. That's the conversation you need to have with yourself. It's not about what somebody else is going to do. It's about what you're going to do and help develop others in your organization to get you where you want to go. Because I used to say the same thing. I could just get some people to do something. Because you know what? I mean, my mentor told me, Cedric, you're never going to get to the high levels with that thinking. I said, what do you mean? Well, I got to get my team. Your team starts with you first. Your team starts with you first. You have to commit to excellence yourself first. Because people want to be a part of somebody that's holding themselves accountable at a high level. First. Not second, not third, first. What's your numbers? What's your numbers look like? When you get off this phone, I want you to give yourself a personal physical. I want you to walk into a doctor's office of Dr. Jason. I want you to walk in to Dr. Kelton. I want you to go in their office. I want you to sit in your office for a second, and I want you to share your numbers. What's your temperature look like? What's your blood pressure look like? Okay? What's your iron levels look like? That's what great leaders do. Their temperature's right. Their thermostat's right. Their blood pressure's right. The heat's right. Because you know what? They understand the power of creating the right heat in the right environment. That's why you go in places, you go to the hospital, I don't care what you put on, you're cold in that hospital. I don't care what you put on, how many sleeves you got on, that temperature is set. It's going to be a cold, it's going to be a sterile environment because they set the tempo. The thermostat is set. The thermostat is set. That's the same way you got to set it in your life. Same way you got to set it in your business. And it starts with us. It starts with us. Temperature got to be hot. When I say tapped in or plugged in, this is a tapped in person. They get on the calls whenever they decide they want to get on. They expose it whenever they decide they want to expose it. They run the Diamond Rush training system, maybe pieces of it, every now and then. You text them or email them. They respond hours later. You call them later. You call them in the morning. They call you at night, maybe, or the next day. They have no sense of urgency. Everything's tomorrow, next week, next year. It's always somebody else, never them. That's a tapped-in person. A plugged-in person, the minute you text them, they respond right back. You call them, they're calling you back. They're running the Diamond Rush. They're doing three-way calls with you. They're on the broadcast with guests. They're on the prosperity mindset call. They're always calling and asking, hey, what's going on? What can I do to get better? They're holding themselves to a high level. They have a major sense of urgency. One of the things that drives me, I can't work with somebody who don't have urgency. Can't do it. I just won't do it. because it tells me that they're not all in. Because if you're all in, it's like getting the next breath. How long could you hold your breath before you got to get some more air? That's the same way you got to be in your business. It's right now. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, not next quarter, not tomorrow. It's right now. Right now. It's time to go. What's your numbers look like? As we close out this call, is your temperature right? Is your blood pressure right? Are you there? Is your numbers right? Is your iron levels right? Your energy level right? Let's go out. Let's do something great. This will be a great week. Let's go out and make it the best week in your career. Let's make it happen today. It starts right now. Starts right now. Set the tempo. Set the temperature. Set the pressure. Get focused. Not tapped in. Plugged in. Plugged in. Plugged in. Plugged in. Plugged in. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the balance of your day.